That was good, people. This is KM.Little right here. We're gonna be watching a video on Gen Z just deciding to give up. You know, in this economy, especially you working minimum wage, I really feel for you. 40 hours a week, minimum wage. You can't even afford an apartment. Even if you can't afford an apartment, that's all your money. That's all your money. But we're gonna watch this video right quick. Let's go and get into it.
Stand how the news has been dogging Gen Z and calling them lazy for not wanting to work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their lives. Let me put it in perspective for everybody who's a little confused here, okay? I work 5 days out of the week, 40 hours a week, okay? I do not make enough to live on my own. I would not make enough to pay rent, water, electric, and eat. All by myself. I would not be capable of doing that. 20 years ago when you were getting started, you could live on your own. 20 years ago when you first started, you were able to do everything that I am now struggling to do.
Yo, working.
Okay, so considering that she a Walmart, you know what I'm saying, Walmart employee, let's just say she get 40 hours a week, right? That's like $600, you know, a week times 4 weeks, you know, that's $2,400. You include that, like, you know, you start with apartment, $1,000. That isn't including rent insurance. That isn't including insurance for your car. If you have a car payment, let's just say the Wi-Fi, electric bill, the water. What else? What else you got? They ain't include the eat, you know, groceries. You might spend at least about, let's just say if you try to be on a little cheaper side, $100 a week. You $2,400. That's your whole paycheck for the month, and then that's not even saving enough if a problem happen, like with your car. $500, $400, $300, $600 in a car problem. Oh my gosh, you're behind that month.
8 hours a day is absurd. I don't give a fuck what we normalize. I'm gonna be the first to come out and say it. Working 8 hours a day is fucking absurd. This is what we need to do, man. To fucking save humanity and save lives, we need to switch to a 4-hour work week or work day. And not only that, a 4-hour work day, I actually want to combine that with the 4-day work week. So we're working 4, 8, 6, 4, 8, 12, 16 hours a week.
So everyone's,
you know, I can see why you want to work 4 hours a week. You know what I'm saying? But that comes with job satisfaction. If you ain't satisfied with your job, of course you want to work 4 hours. But what he's saying that it ain't practical anyway, because imagine EMS work for 4 hours. This sounds crazy. All the emergency services work for 4 hours. But yeah, some people they don't want to work, but I get it. But if you're gonna work hard, work long hours and stuff like that, have something that you're satisfied with. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna work longer hours, that's how I feel though.
wondering why Gen Z is so nihilistic. And I see stuff like, you know, these corporate CEOs who are like, no one wants to work anymore. And the kids they don't have discipline and they don't have no work ethic and everyone's just lazy and everyone's just like, no one's chasing things. And the reason that Gen Z thinks that life has no meaning is because life has no meaning. So if we really stop and think about it, in the past, the meaning of life, or what got us through our early years, was this kind of script that later on we will be happy. So early on, when we're sort of like, when our brains are young and we're still sort of forming what life is, we would kind of go through stuff and we'd say like, okay, this is the prize over here. There's the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Let me follow the rainbow because eventually I'll be happy.
At a point where I think we're kind of at the...
See, the pot of gold in the rainbow was you go to school, you get a degree, and your degree, you can actually use your degree then. You use your degree to okay, now I can afford a house, and then I can afford a family to come with it. And then my wife, she works also because she got a degree. But now it's at a point to where like in this economy, you almost have to have somebody living with you. It's better to split the bills 50-50. A lot of people say, oh, I want to split 50-50. Me personally, I'd rather do 50-50 unless I'm like making 10, 20,000. Then I don't mind my girl. You ain't got to split no $1,600 rent. I'll pay that.
Death of like careers.
There is no such thing as a career anymore. Come here. Because nobody wants a career anymore. You want to know why? Because the new workforce, the new generation of workforce, they're not working for the sake of getting promoted to have a good long-lasting job. We are all working to survive. You cannot have a career if every single day you are worried about if you're going to be able to keep your job or not. Companies are not instilling any trust at all with their workers. The last job I had, there was somebody who was working at that job for about 20 years. You want to know what happened? That company laid him off. They fired him via email on his day off.
In the older generations talk.
And that's the crazy part too. It's just like this, right? I got a friend. He go from job to job, but with this job, he told me, he was like, man, I feel like the employee doesn't like me. So then one day he come in like a minute late, and he was like, bro, like everybody else come in like 6-10 minutes late and all that type of stuff, but you fired me. And then he said that one of the employees there was like, man, the employer just don't like you like that because you don't speak to nobody. like this, it's so crazy that somebody would fire somebody. He's like my homeboy. He's like, man, I'm a hard working dude, and I know he is, cause that's the only, like, you know what I'm saying, he gonna work hard. And in FedEx, he worked FedEx. You know, in FedEx you gotta work hard. You gonna go, but just because he wasn't speaking to nobody like that, you know what I'm saying, he was just like, all right, I'm gonna just go ahead and get it done. The employees say do this. The manager, I don't know how FedEx work, but like whoever the manager or whatever, they say get it done, he'll do it. He won't say nothing. He just get it done. You know what I'm saying? But they fired him because he wasn't joking around with everybody. He wasn't talking to everybody. He just going there to get the work done. He got fired.
About we lazy and we don't want to work for nothing. I don't think we lazy. I think we just smart. We not finna do work that don't make sense. Like, I remember this one time in college, I had got a job at a retail store, right? I walk in first day, he's showing me around and everything. He was like, oh yeah, and by the way, we're one of the top 10 stores in the country. I left during my lunch break. No, because what that tells me is all of you guys are overworked, y'all are hitting all the metrics, and y'all are severely underpaid. Whereas I can go to the same retail store one town over where they're poorly ran, and if I show up on time, I'm already beyond expectations. And the pay is exactly the same.
That's good.
Don't that make sense to you? Like, even with college, the minute I walk into a teacher's class and she's like, oh yeah, my class is not gonna be easy. I'm gonna make you work for the grade. Bruh, I can go take this other teacher who ain't gonna be there half of the time and pass that class with ease. It's not that I'm lazy, I'm just not stupid.
But sorry, you can't.
Me personally, if things could be easier, me working $20 an hour for a company or something like that, working $20 an hour for a company, and then there's two companies, one gonna make me work harder, and one of them just not barely gonna make me work, and they both give me the same amount of time. Why in the world would I go work for the company that's gonna make me work harder? It doesn't make sense for anyone. But I mean, unless that company had more benefits or something like that, yeah. But past that, why would I work more harder? It doesn't make any sense.
Make it, I have a workout class.
My visceral reaction was, are you fucking kidding me?
No, fully.
First of all, baby, your opinions are aging you about 20 years, but no, Gen Z does not care. We were hired for an annual salary rate that doesn't even cover all our bills and contracted from 9 to 5. So we will be in that office bright and early at 9 a.m. every day, and we will be clocking out at 5 p.m. on the dot. No more, no less. And I know a lot of you with the boomer mindset will come in and be like, Gen Z doesn't want to work. They're lazy. They have no job loyalty. Yeah, are you kidding me? In this economy, we are not getting paid enough to have a strong work ethic, let alone working for hours we didn't sign up for when most of us already work multiple jobs. But yes, hustle culture is over because there is nothing left to hustle for. Gen Z has watched millennials go through this struggle and we have learned from them. We listened to them and learned that y'all are just trying to sell us a pipe dream. There is nothing to hustle for because in this economy, you can't afford anything, especially at the rates these jobs are paying. And two, there's almost no job advancement anyways at these large companies because the older folks aren't retiring, so there's nowhere to move up to. And of course, that's not boomers' faults. The system is completely busted right now and retiring is getting harder and harder and it's going to be pretty much impossible for the rest of us.
I have a homeboy who graduated from college, and since he graduated, he couldn't find a job. And a lot of people are going through the same situation, graduating and can't find a job. But either if they want to find a job, they got to have experience already. And I told him, I'm like, man, you might got to go work for free for a company just to get experience. And it sounds crazy in this economy. It sounds crazy going somewhere and working for free, but it's like, damn near you have to. If you didn't do that much internships inside of school to where you have a job, almost guaranteed soon you get out, it's just like, what else you supposed to do?
Sick a 40-hour work week is. I'm so sorry. So you're telling me that I have to wake up at the fucking butt crack of dawn every single day?
Yeah, stupid. Look,
I struggle with this because, you know, there's obviously a lot of validity in what this young lady is saying, but it's also the crux of what's wrong with a lot of our generation in society right now, where they don't think, and no one seems to think, that they have to do anything that's remotely uncomfortable. And sure, take care of yourself, don't be exploited, don't work yourself to death, don't stress yourself into a heart attack. But at the same time, yes, life is not easy, and I think a lot of privileged people, regardless of their ethnic or cultural background, are suddenly thinking the world is entitled to them, or that they're entitled to all the perks and benefits of a good life. Yeah, at some point, you're gonna have to do shit you don't wanna. And this isn't an old, angry old man telling you what's what. It's why our country is probably not going to be the country that we remember and want it to be in about 100 years, because of thinking like that. I don't want to. I shouldn't have to. I'm going to work from home in my underwear and teach yoga via Zoom from my farmhouse in upstate New York. And let's be frank, guys. It's rich white liberals.
That's, in my personal opinion, man, I think everybody should have a chance to, you know, chase their passion, you know, all that type of stuff. But at the same time, I learned that getting older, this is reality. A lot of people going, you know, you might pass away or you might be in your deathbed and you never had a chance to really chase your passion because of bills and life, you know. That's what I'm saying. Only way you can really chase your passion and live your life if you save ahead of the curve, and then you can go back and then just be like, okay, you know what, I can do this. I can, you know what, I can put it behind. I can do this or do that or whatever, you know. But if you don't do that and you starting from zero, or you starting with however much is inside your bank account, yes, you're going to feel like, man, why do I got to wake up at the crack of dawn and do all this type of stuff when I don't want to? Life should be so easy. Well, if you don't have rich parents, life is going to be hard. And if you don't have rich parents, or you don't have a hustle, because you got the hustle. If you don't have no hustle, you're going to always complain. You're going to always complain and stay the same. And every year going to be the same. I'm telling you.
Rich white liberal women.
For Gen Z in the workplace, employers are reporting that this generation...
And so I know boomers and Gen X and millennials are all going to have an opinion on this, but let me give you the one that matters. They don't want to end up like us. COVID did anything for this country. It woke a lot of people up to the idea that you don't matter. Read it in the comments in my videos all the time. Oh, well, we all knew that. Then why are you mad at them? Are you mad that the kids who are coming into the workforce now have enough respect for themselves to not put up with it? Well, you know, they're all living at home in their mom's basements, you know. They don't have any life lessons and skills yet. Yeah, neither did we when we were 20. I know a single person my age who doesn't have at least some sort of side hustle. Be it cutting grass, selling stuff on Etsy, or buying pallets, somebody's got a side hustle, because the money we're making at work is just enough to pay our bills. If we want to do something more, we got to make more.
Who has...
That is facts. It's facts. I'm 26. I ain't his age, but that is facts. You gotta have a side hustle. You know, always try to make some money on the side. I always been like that since I was a child, selling candy at school. I always gotta try to make some money on the side some way. Somebody gonna want something. Somebody gonna want some candy. Somebody gonna want some shoes, some clothes. Somebody gonna want something. You gonna have to trade something in. Like, everything in life is always a sacrifice. And now it just, when you have the money and it works out, you just have to have the restraint to be like, you know what, I'm not going to add any more bills, because if it ever come to a situation where I don't have this money anymore, I don't have any extra bills that I have to pay. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have, well, with me, I have a tiny home. I'm like, damn, you know what, if I fall on hard times and my car messed up, at least I don't have to pay rent anymore. Oh.
Zero social media actually thinks it's the devil, has come to me and is like, okay, let's make some TikToks. His entire working life has been physical labor, and he is so over it. Finally coming to a place where we are all at, which is, I don't want to work anymore. But it's not the same way that like the boomers are all saying like, oh, millennials just don't want to work, we're lazy. My husband is a hard worker, okay? He has done every single type of physical labor job you could ever think of. He has done it. He has literally tore his body apart. He has to have surgeries like every year because he is physically harming himself with these jobs. And he just can't do it anymore because he cannot get ahead. He's like, what's the point? What is the point? I started my construction business. I've worked my way up. Now I build houses, but it's like, oh, the government's like, you need to pay this fee. Oh, you need to pay $15,000 for work comp. Oh, you need to pay this fee, whatever. It's like, if he makes this much money, the government's like, well, actually, we need this much from you to make that much money. Fuck it. What is the point? And that is the reason why millennials don't want to work anymore is because there's no point. You cannot get ahead.
If you work in manual labor, if you standing all the time and stuff like that, that stuff is going to be draining. It's going to be definitely draining. You can't go to the bathroom. Well, you can't go to the bathroom. Well, some jobs don't really want you to go to the bathroom like that. You know, either going to the bathroom or either taking a break to get some water or either stuff like that, like you can do in this gig economy, like what I do. Like, a lot of this stuff going to take a toll on your body, especially you people who are here working, like lifting up 50, 70, 80-pound boxes, bringing up refrigerators into apartments, or you just doing like a lot of manual labor stuff. It's just like, this stuff is going to wear and tear on your body. I would never recommend anybody doing like that, like doing that type of work to even push 80 hours every week for 2 months straight or a month straight. That sounds crazy. Maybe 1 week out of the month, but a whole 4 weeks straight is crazy. But